Well, recently we just saw a picture of Mamata Banerjee sitting with Himanta Biswa and the West Bengal Governor Jagdeep Dhankhar. That has given rise to speculations as is there a possibility of the BJP and the TMC coming closer at one point of time. That is because just a few days after this picture, Dhankhar was announced as the NDA's vice presidential candidate. Was she informed in advance? Was she kept in the loop? And will she abstain or vote for Dhankhar? And surprise or surprise, at a press conference, it was announced that the Trinamool Congress is not going to be supporting either Alva or Dhankhar, rather will abstain. And the reason which was given was that the Congress party did not keep us in the loop. I'm Pallavi Ghosh, and on One Take this week, I asked this question, that are the TMC and the BJP coming closer together? And is that even possible in the near future? Well, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, the Murshidabad MP from Congress, the Congress's leader of the opposition in Lok Sabha, certainly seems to be thinking so, because like the AAP, which has been called the B team of the BJP by the Congress party, this time round they started calling the Trinamool Congress also the B team of the BJP, and the reason is simple. In a state where the Congress was at one point of time extremely powerful, it has withered away. This time round in the state elections, it got 0 seats. It knows that in the next Lok Sabha elections, the future of the Congress party is in jeopardy. In fact, so much so there's a fear that Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary himself may lose from Murshidabad, where he's considered to be a kind of a warlord. And therefore, he's going to try and build up a narrative, especially which could work in the minority stronghold areas of Bengal, which happens to be Murshidabad too, where Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary is an MP from. Spread the word that look, she's coming closer to the BJP, she sided with the BJP, she's abstaining, because abstaining actually helps Dhankhar win much more easily. Of course, the Trinamool Congress knows the game, which is why they are sending out that message that the only reason we objected was because Alva's name was decided without consulting us. No one got in touch with us, and also it was a name which was proposed by Sitaram Yechury, who belongs to a left, and left and the Trinamool Congress are sworn enemies. But before I start talking about the present circumstances or whether it's ever possible for the BJP and the TMC to come together, let's get a sense of history. To say that the NDA or the BJP was a pariah for Mamata Banerjee is absolutely wrong, because remember, she was very much a part of the NDA government. But those were the Vajpayee era, and she was always considered, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, to be one of the most respected leaders of the country. But she resisted, she protested, and she quit from the NDA. Her opposition is not so much to the BJP, but her opposition is to the BJP under Narendra Modi. Which is why, if you notice her very carefully, whenever she comes to Delhi occasionally, she makes it a point to reach out to other BJP leaders, especially those who are deemed to be having a mind of their own or at times taking on the BJP led by the Prime Minister. Whether she meets Nitin Gadkari at times, whether she meets Rajnath Singh at times, she maintains an equations with them. She's trying to send out a message to the BJP, look, I'm not against you, I'm against Narendra Modi. There's a political reason behind it also, because her opposition to the Prime Minister is in the context of his days as Gujarat Chief Minister, and if you remember the 2002 riots, and for her that becomes a benchmark for her politics back in Bengal. And therefore she needs to appease to that minority vote bank. She made a mistake initially, however, to underestimate the might of the BJP till the last Lok Sabha elections sprung a huge surprise, and the BJP did very well in the Lok Sabha elections. After that, she didn't actually understand whether the BJP would be in the game or out of it, but she clearly underestimated BJP because it's one political party which doesn't even give up in defeat. It relentlessly goes on building up its narrative, and that's exactly how they put up a big fight against her in the West Bengal elections. So much so, they raised this whole perception about how she was anti-Hindu and therefore the Sri Ram narrative, and which forced her also to go out with a Durga Stuti on stage when she was campaigning, trying to make the point that she was as much of a devout Hindu as the BJP was. She's begun to understand that BJP having lost West Bengal doesn't mean that they're going to give up on Bengal, and therefore she will have to change her strategy. She's making it very clear that a BJP minus Narendra Modi would be more acceptable to her. But a couple of issues which have taken place, there are certain incidents which have taken place, which is now helping the Congress party and also some within the BJP behind closed doors to try and throw up this speculation, is that is she now no longer that averse to the BJP? One, of course, as we talked about the case of her abstaining from the vice presidential post. Second, when Partha Chatterjee was arrested, the TMC initially did not even speak out very strongly, whereas on 21st of July on a martyrdom day, Mamata Banerjee from stage seemed to be defending Sonia Gandhi, because that was the very same day when Sonia Gandhi was actually being interrogated by the ED. She talked about how ED, CBI were being misused. Third is, for those who said that you're scared of ED and therefore you don't take on Narendra Modi, this is a counter that she would always want to make. That unlike say Jagannath Reddy, which is the perception which is built up, unlike say Chandrababu Naidu and all of them who are cozying up to the BJP because they are scared, I am not scared, because if I was really cozying up to the BJP and I was listening to what they wanted me to do, then the ED would not have been unleashed after the TMC leaders one after another. I think she's trying to make a balancing act. But in politics, one can never say never. As I said, tomorrow she's going to look at the BJP, perhaps minus Narendra Modi, if ever that day comes. And therefore, she's going to try and send out a message that I can do business with the BJP, but I cannot do a business with the BJP which is led by the Prime Minister. Because this, she feels, is going to hurt her politically in West Bengal. But this narrative which the Congress party is now slowly building up of her being a B team of the BJP is immediately going to hurt her. But ideologically speaking, she's as opposed to the Congress today politically as she's opposed to the BJP. But the BJP's ideology today is not very new. The nuances may have changed, the narrative may have changed a bit, but the BJP plus RSS plus the saffron agenda was even there when she was a part of the NDA, which is what the Congress keeps on throwing back at her. The Congress has almost withered away in the state of West Bengal, and it may be a long road to recovery. So at least on that ground, Mamata Banerjee doesn't have much to lose. But if she keeps this guessing game going, she actually kills two birds with one stone. Perhaps give that hope to the BJP that yet another bastion could fall before the BJP. Just as say a Naveen Patnaik or an AIADMK or a TRS or the YSR can be banked upon in case of some key legislations in Rajya Sabha. Perhaps at one point of time on certain issues the TMC can also be banked upon. Second, for her politically, she keeps this guessing game going because she also wants to send out a message to the opposition parties, don't take me for granted. I'm always going to be the leader. I'm perhaps the only one who has aggressively taken on the BJP, whether at the state level, whether at the central level, inside Rajya Sabha, inside Lok Sabha, because of the sheer numbers. But therefore the Congress party, most importantly, cannot play the big brother. And the other regional political parties would also have to accept the fact that Mamata Banerjee matters and it's her voice which is going to be the loudest. Especially when efforts are being made, for example, like the KCR to try and forge a kind of opposition unity. This is where she would want to make a point that I am the one who can raise our voice only against the BJP because I don't fear anyone. Do give in your reactions on the social media timeline. Do tell us whether it's ever possible that the TMC and the BJP can come together. Or who knows in politics what happens tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching.